Today I'll be talking about the change whenever I worked for Worldwide Inspection and we lost the contract with Oklahoma Natural Gas and we went to USIC with the new contract. When it came to prior planning of the change, we had very minimal planning. We were reassured by the owner in a discussion that we were in no threat of losing the contract because of our work experience and because of how well we had done. The problem was our accountant had embezzled about $1 million from Oklahoma Natural Gas in mileage charges, and that had all gone down right as the contract negotiations were coming around. Ultimately, we were given 1 week to prepare. We were called on the 24th of January, and by February 2nd, we were working for a new company. Well, about 13 of us out of the 43 were. The initial results was very slow. I stayed on as the foreman, and I helped get the new company started. It was very slow. We had a lot of red tape to go through because they vetted a lot of us to make sure that we were, competent enough because of the previous owner's accountant. The equipment, USIC did not have a lot of the equipment we needed, so we had to kind of make do until they were able to order it, buy it. We were very understaffed. As I said, we had 43 people that took care of the western side of the state. They dropped us down to 13. So we were doing a job that needed 43 with a staff of 13. We did make it work. We had to prioritize which jobs were the most priority. We had to make sure that, we were on site for any digs around high pressure that could possibly end up being a damage. And we made it work and we got the job done. The employees' reaction in dealing with the change is they were very stressed. They felt underappreciated, mainly because they brought them on at the same pay they were making at the other company, where that had been $10 an hour, $11 an hour. They were hiring new people off the street at $13.50 an hour, which really bugged the people that had more experience. We went from a one-owner company that we had a lot of leeway. Wasn't a lot of company policy. We just, did our job, went home, to a multi-billion-dollar nationwide company that had a lot of company policies. Not to mention the feeling attacked by the previous employees of USIC because these guys wanted to go do this job and they weren't given that opportunity because they brought us over. So they felt like they should have had first stab at it instead of bringing on new people from the previous company. My personal involvement, being the foreman, I was given the task of choosing the 13. Like I said, we had 43 people and I had to let 30 of those go. One of those was my brother. Another was actually my wife, who worked for the company as well. A lot of the guys were semi-retired, and ladies that we had, they went ahead and just went into full retirement. And we had a few that took jobs elsewhere. So I ended up having to let about 10 people go out of those 43. That was really, really tough. Handling the policy changes and instilling those in my guys and gals was pretty rough because I was the same one that did the other policies, and we didn't have a lot, to be honest with you. I kept that transition smooth, and I served as the mediator for all the techs with management. When they had a problem, they came to me as in the chain of command, and then I would take it upstairs. There was a lot of success and failure with this. While I was still there, the company thrived. I had a lot of experience doing this, and I kept the company afloat. They ended up letting go of all the employees that came over from Worldwide Inspection due to, whatever it was, not giving them raises, insubordination. There was a lot of resentment, and they ended up letting them all go. There's none remaining today. USIC actually lost that contract in 2018. To a new startup company, but then they've actually regained it as of this year. And I have been approached about coming on to the new company called Recon to run the new company like I did before. Looking back, doing things differently, what USIC probably could have done was look at the customer more as a boss than a customer. If you look at somebody and think you're above them, you're not. They're the ones that are paying you. Keeping them informed. Keeping them involved. They didn't want to inform their main company of what they were doing and where they were doing it, even though they were doing it with their facilities. Like I said, remembering you're not bigger than the customer, and better starting pay for employees and more incentives and raises to keep them there. Thank you.